What is up guys, Speed here, and today we're going to be going over the top level 1 spells in Dota. Spells you should fear, spells that enable their heroes to actually be good early into the game, and spells that are just genuinely very good at the start of the game. So let's get into it. I had to look through the entire list of heroes, and I had the help of my friends to, get some ideas, and we've done our best to find out what we think are the most potent spells at level 1. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Maybe there's one that I've completely missed and overlooked. I'd like to hear about it. And yeah, hopefully you'll let me know. And without further ado, let's get right into it. This pro guide you're about to see is one of hundreds, just like it, over at gameleap.com. Gameleap is your #1 stop to become a specialist in your desired role fast. Check us out today with the discount link in the description below to unlock your hidden potential. But for now, let's hop into the video. So coming in at number 10 is a spell that arguably could have been at number 1. And yes, it belongs to techies, right? I don't think techies ever deserves a spot at number 1 on any list unless it's obnoxious heroes. So that spell is going to be Blast Off. If you're familiar with this spell, it does 300 damage at level 1. Yes, 300 damage at level 1 on a 35-second cooldown, meaning you can use it once at full HP and then again when you're half HP to deny yourself. So if you watch any sort of pro techies gameplay, you're going to notice this is a big trend. You basically do 600 magical damage within the first and second creep wave, which many heroes can't deal with. And not only that, it's AoE, right? This spell is AoE. It has the potential to hit 3 to 4 heroes if you happen to be taking like a level 1 team fight and silence them all, right? You silence them. And not only that, you silence them for 4 seconds. It's very easy to hit, considering the radius is 400, right? It's 400, that's quite long, and you can deny yourself with it. This spell has so much utility at level 1, it's unbelievable. Not only that, if you really, for whatever reason, want to push the creep wave in, you could blast off it as well, so wow. Next up, coming in at number 9, is Precision Aura. Yes, I hear you. Why Precision Aura? Many drops don't even take this spell at level 1. How in the world could you argue that it is even on this list? Well, it has the potential to be one of the best in the game simply because, if you have 4 other ranged heroes, especially if you have like a off-lane Enchantress, a position 4 Rubik, a mid Quap, and then maybe like a position 5 Grimstroke, there is insane value in this spell. In fact, it recently got buffed 2% more. Meaning you can have 22% extra attack speed on every single one of your ranged heroes. And if you do the math, yes, I did the math, guys, you're welcome, 110% extra attack speed at level 1. And basically what this means is you could Roche at level 1. Yes, any Drought team with Precision Aura can Roche. And no, I'm kidding. But let's get into number 8. So number 8 is Divine Favor. This spell has gotten nerfed at minimum for the last 3 patches. Maybe I'm wrong, like you can call me out on that, but it is still getting nerfed, and I think for good reason. If a spell gets nerfed 3 to 4 times in a row, I think there probably is something wrong with it. And yes, Divine Favor is still good. So let's look at the current numbers on Divine Favor. The most important thing to note, in my opinion, is the 2 HP regen at level 1. And you might be asking why. Well, 2 HP regen on every hero around you is very good. So I actually don't know why you're asking why. 2 extra, considering it gets boosted by 6%, means that if you have a headdress, everyone in your lane has 7 to 8 HP regen. And this is heroes that, don't already start with 4 or 5. It's that good. And not only that, it still has the ability to teleport people in. Now, it does take 6 seconds and is on a 140-second cooldown, which is unbelievably high. But regardless, the ability to just take a spell and sustain almost any lane with it is unbelievably underrated in the majority of low MMR games. And yeah, that's why I really want to put this spell on here. Of course, I can understand why you would even argue that the other spell that Chen has, Holy Persuasion, could even be on here, and I would agree. Having a creep at level 1 is also extremely strong, but its max level is only 3, meaning if you don't get something like Harpy, it won't be that useful. Alright, so next up on the list is Summon Spirit Bear. I felt like I kind of had to put this on, because frankly, I don't think Lone Druid is a very good hero, but to be fair, Summon Spirit Bear is very good, considering it gives you, an extra 30-something damage to actually last it in the laning stage, kind of getting you around towards the 70-80 damage range, meaning if you're very good at microing the bear, you can actually do very well in the early waves in terms of last hitting and denying. That war can often be in your favor. However, the hero kind of struggles outside of that. It's very hard to hit a legitimate item timing and keep it. It's very difficult to fight with the, difficulty in micro and item management. So in general, I wanted to give kind of a homage to my boy. He's been struggling. He's been in the friend zone for a long time, and hopefully he'll get out one day. Maybe Ice Frog can share him a little bit of love, and I'd love to see that. Coming in at number 6 is probably the highest utility level spell. at level 1 in Dota, and I think it's the reason why the hero is such a menace in the 4-wheel steal, and that is Tiny's Toss. So if you're not a big Tiny player, you wouldn't really get this. You don't understand how good Toss is. But how a lot of pro teams and high MMR players use it is very, very simple. So the premise comes down to this. You walk one hero under tower, and you toss an enemy, especially low movement speed or low disengage heroes, under the tower and easily secure first blood. This is so potent that even in recent games that I've played, I've picked hard support Tiny, and with the help of my friend, we've tossed many Shadow Shamans under the tower, so much so where one ended up rage buy back. So I genuinely recommend if you're not used to playing Tiny, or you play him but don't use the high potential of the spell at level 1, you start using it. Or if you were playing with your friends, you say, okay, Jimmy, can you run back to the tower? Because me, Steve, wants to throw back the Shadow Shaman back to you. And now for our recent weather forecast, it's going to be sunny out tomorrow. Alright, that was an awful joke, but getting into number 5, we have CLOAK and Aura. So I actually didn't initially put this on the list, and then I glanced over Ricky and I'm like, you know what, this spell is actually unbelievably good, and I think it's why this hero can be very dominant in pubs, and a big part of why I actually would recommend playing this hero, if you're unsure of, maybe what a new hero is that you should play, because CLOAK and Aura is a great ability for the laning stage. It gives you 2 HP regen at level 1, but most importantly, it gives you the ability to get denies very reliably, because it works on your allied creeps. Yes, exactly, it works on your allied creeps. As a result, you can easily play him in the off lane, mid lane, safe lane, doesn't matter, even position 4. And, considering games go late, Ricky scales extremely well and picks on supports without Force Staffs and Glimmer Capes. And if you know anything about solo queue, people don't buy those items. I'm ranting. This has nothing to do with CLOAK and Aura at level 1. Regardless, the spell allows you to get denies, stay invisible, and destroy noobs. And coming in at number 4 is an ability that got 5 less damage at level 1 recently. It's very sad. It's very sad. And that ability is Blade Fury. So for a while, Juggernaut has been known to be one of those safe laners you have to be very careful about fighting at the rune, especially if he's paired like something with a Witch Doctor. If you get Maledicted and spin, you're essentially dead, or even just casked. Or a Frostbite plus a spin was also, for a long time, a very deadly combo, and still is. You still have to fear that combo, considering Blade Fury can do hundreds of damage at level 1, right? It can do around half of any hero's HP, meaning if you can drop them there with the low base attack time of Juggernaut, you're almost guaranteed a kill. So yeah, this is kind of one of those things where if you're a Juggernaut player now, you should consider, hey, maybe I'm not going aggressive enough at the runes. And yes, there are actually some heroes that can fight back against Blade Fury, but not a lot. So if you have any support with any sort of damage, whether it's Inkswell, Dark Willow, Bane, Raincept, doesn't matter. Go try to fight. Alright, now we're going to get in some of the real spells. Coming in at number 3, we have Decay. Now if you don't know what Decay is, it steals your strength. You can literally get down to around like 320 HP. It's insane. It gets so obnoxious to the point where you actually have to commit 2 designated heroes to actually beat this hero in lane if he's zoning properly. Like, I'm not kidding. I recently had to play it against it in a qualifier match, and we had to legitimately draft 2 heroes just so it wouldn't destroy us in lane. Yeah, that's kind of Undying in a nutshell. Decay lasts for 45 seconds and is on a 10-second cooldown at level 1, which basically means you can get up to 10 stacks, stealing a very simple amount of strength, right? 4 times 4 is 16, meaning you're stealing 16 strength, and 16 times 20 is way too much math. Let me do it real quick. Alright guys, the math is in 320 HP, so if you start with 640, you have 320 left. Yeah, but no joke, I think this hero is getting better and better and more popular just because of its soul rip buffs. Well, not just because of it, it also is great in lane, but its soul rip buffs are huge. It really enables the hero to have a very large level 3 spike, making it a complete lane dominator. Coming in at number 2, we have GUSH. Now I know what you're thinking. GUSH? GUSH? I don't even know what GUSH is. I actually have no clue what GUSH is. Well, let me explain it to you. It's actually Tidehunter's Q ability, and the most important thing to know about it is that it reduces armor by 4. That is 2 Blightstones. Yes, I'm not kidding. On a 12-second cooldown. This ability has some of the best numbers in the game, and I'm not kidding. It is a 700 cast range, which is absolutely massive. It does 110 damage, slows for 40% for 4 seconds, which is one of the highest and longest slows at level 1, and it reduces armor by 4. Are there other abilities that have that many numbers? Like, just that many numbers? That high of cast range, a slow, armor reduction, and a high damage? The typical spells that have this much utility are like Lion Stun, and they do 80 damage. And Lion Stun doesn't reduce armor, right? I'm not kidding. If you haven't played Tidehunter recently, one of the main reasons why he was so potent and picked a lot at TI9 was his ability to take Gush level 1 and lane extremely well with any ranged heroes. If you haven't played something like Lina, you're missing out. That lane is absolutely disgusting. disgusting. It is disgusting. Nothing can lane against it. It feels very unbeatable if you simply buy a stout shield and level Gush. And the last ability in the game is simply why this hero was picked at TI, and that is Mirana's Arrow. Sacred Arrow is very straightforward. All you have to do is pick any sort of setup. So you could pick Kunkka, Shadow Demon, Oracle, Sand King, any stun, anything. Even Gush is good enough, dude. Even Gush. You throw your arrow, and it stuns for 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Not only that, it does a maximum bonus damage of 180, meaning if you throw it at range, it is a 220 damage nuke at level 1. And the second thing to note is even if you have no kills on the map, you can one-shot big creeps, enabling your hero to buy an early boots, an early stick, get early levels without sapping anything from her laning partner. The utility and kill threat from Arrow makes any Mirana tri-lane feel almost unbeatable. You just pick whoever you want, go on them, and if the enemy team doesn't have a direct counter like an Abaddon shield, then you kill them. And even if they do have an Abaddon shield, you just go on the Abaddon and you kill him instead. So yeah, I feel like I have to put this spell at number 1. I recently played a game where I played Timber offlane alone. My teammates tri-lane with an Alk. Not kidding, we had an Alchemist, a hero that provides nothing at level 1 due to Grievous Greed. He has to take that. And yet, no joke, the axe that they were against was level 4 when my Alchemist was level 8. And that is Arrow in a nutshell. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, if you feel like I missed any very important spells, and yes, there was actually a couple that I hesitated not putting in this video, so maybe you can even guess them. But in general, let me know what you think. If you disagree with me, I'd be happy to know and debate you on it. Peace. Are you tired of being hard stuck at your rank? Over at gameleap.com, we have a library of hundreds of guides authored by pro players and coaches covering literally every aspect of Dota. Whether you're looking to master a new hero or role, or just polish up your existing skills, GameLeap is the proven place for competitive gamers to hone their craft and unlock their secret potential. Hit the link on screen right now, to take advantage of our special offer for a 25% discount, guys. 25%, and start your journey today.